Our first question today is, what made you become a writer?
Well, when I was 13, I started writing short stories, but I really became serious about writing in 8th grade. But my first published book came when I was around 33.
Very good answer. Now, how long does it take you to write a book?
Well, all books are different. Because I signed with Disney, I have a 2-book-a-year deadline, though, so I have to keep up with that.
That was a very surprising amount of time. So how do you develop your plots and characters for the books?
Well, I look at the big picture, and then I try to mix Greek mythology and Roman mythology into the storyline.
Now, Mr. Riordan, what was your inspiration for the Percy Jackson series?
My son Haley, he was diagnosed with ADHD and dyslexia. I came up with these stories to help him get through those hard times.
So, what was your favorite book, Mr. Riordan?
Like many people, I enjoy the Lord of the Rings novels. In 8th grade, my social studies teacher showed me how they correspond with Norse mythology.
Wow, that was very shocking. So, when did you become a writer?
Well, when I was 13, I started writing short stories, but I really became serious about writing in 8th grade. But my first published book came when I was around 33.
Okay, so you're proud of the success your books are having?
Great question. Yes, I'm actually very proud of them. They greatly exceeded my expectations.
Your son Haley influenced the characters in the Percy Jackson books.
Haley was around Percy's age when I first started writing these books. I definitely incorporated much of Haley's personality into Percy. Haley has both dyslexia and ADHD, so I gave Percy and a lot of the other characters those traits to sort of submerge Haley into the story.
Wow, I love that answer. So what made you interested in Greek mythology?
I've always been fascinated with Greek mythology, but it was Haley who first got me writing them into my stories and developing characters like Percy and different books like Lightning Thief, all the way to all my other series.
So, Mr. Riordan, how many books are in the Percy Jackson series, and would you please write more of them?
Percy Jackson and the Olympians has a total of 5 books. Sadly, the series is over, so no, I won't be writing any more books on that series.
Oh, I was hoping you would write more. So, how do you feel about the movies that they made about your books?
I actually have not watched any of the movies. I did not have control over the directing of them, so I didn't want the movies to skew my ideas of the characters and how I felt towards them.
Interesting. So what made you leave teaching?
It was a very hard decision. I love teaching, I love working with kids, but I signed with Disney as a writer, and I had to give something up in order to meet the 2-book-a-year deadline. So I had to stop teaching. Luckily, I still get to work with kids though, and who knows, maybe someday I'll go back to the classroom.
Interesting. So, did your students know you wrote books? And what did they think about that?
We never talked about it much, but they did know I was a writer. They thought that was pretty cool, but they never really gave it a second thought.
So, Mr. Riordan, did you see any of yourself in Percy Jackson?
That's actually a really good question. Percy has my sense of humor, and like Percy, I was never the best student in school, so we are alike in those respects.
Many people are comparing your series to the Harry Potter series. Are there any similarities between the books?
With any new children's fantasy book, there will be comparisons to Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling definitely set the standard for fantasy novels. Percy and Harry, honestly, they do have a lot in common. Both of them draw their power from Norse and Greek mythology, and they both have to overcome great deals.
So, Mr. Riordan, why do you think so many people, especially children, are drawn to your books?
I don't know. People are drawn to fantasy novels because they see it as a way to escape from reality and a way to submerge themselves into a different reality where they can live out their lives as a demigod, or as in Harry Potter, they could be a wizard.
So, did you ever think any of your books would get so popular?
I was hoping my books would inspire kids to start writing, but honestly, I had never anticipated they would blow up as they did.
Now, Mr. Jordan, how is writing a children's book different than writing an adult book?
Honestly, I don't think it's that different. Kids and adults, they both want the same things out of their story. They want a fast-paced story, characters you can care about, and they always want to be left asking questions so that they will keep reading and find the answers.
So, Mr. Riordan, was your target audience younger kids?
Yes, I generally looked at younger kids as the target audience. I knew my son Haley enjoyed the novels, so I thought other kids might.
Mr. Riordan, what advice do you have for any young children that want to be authors?
For young writers, I would definitely recommend them finding a mentor that will inspire them and get them to keep on writing. When I was in 8th grade, I had Mrs. Pabst. She kept me writing, and she made me what I am today.